So what we've been doing in a lot of the meditations for people who've been coming along is I do this mini equanimity meditation at the beginning. So I found a really beautiful chapter in that Lamrim year by Lama Yeshe. So we're going to meditate on that today. And it's a form of meditation called analytical meditation. So analytical meditation is nothing fancy. You're just, and I've lost you all. It's just thinking. Sorry. There we are. Okay, here I'm back. And I'm just going to take myself off spot. There I can see you. Hi. So let's just think. It's a bit of a contradiction because I'm saying don't think, but don't think and then think. And I'll tell you when to think and when not to think. Well, that sounds a bit ridiculous. Okay, so let's just settle into our meditation posture. If you are sitting at a desk and your feet are on the ground, just try and have them in a parallel position. And not with your ankles crossed, so you're just kind of nice and straight, nice and aligned, and the legs would be also in a parallel position, about a hip widths apart, the knees. Other than that, if you're sitting in a regular cross-legged position in your usual meditation position, make sure you're sitting on something quite firm. And the suggestion I heard the other day, was if you are sitting on a chair at a desk, that sit on with your sit bones right at the edge of the chair. But I can see how that could possibly be a little bit potentially dangerous. So if people are on wheels, etc., etc. So just be careful. But you want your back to be nice and aligned. The hands are in the meditation mudra, the right hand nestled in the left with the thumbs touching. And welcome Karen, Mary Jo. And the shoulders are over the hips. And let's just imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light, stretching from the base of the spine all the way up through the crown of the head. Just imagine someone is above you or behind you, very gently lengthening your spine and putting some space in between those vertebrae. Now just imagine your ears. Someone has you by the ears and is very gently pulling your head, and also gliding your head backwards to be aligned with your shoulders. Your head is slightly tipped forward, the eyes are down, looking along the length of your nose. Tip of the tongue is on the roof of the mouth. Relax the jaw. And just bring your awareness to the crown of the head and relax the scalp and the forehead and the eyes and the nose, the cheeks, that area around the mouth, the chin, and the back of the head, and relax the occipital bone there. Just release any tension in that area. Relax the ears, the inner ear, the eardrum, and back of the tongue, and the jaw. And now release any tension in the neck and the shoulders, the shoulder blades, that area in between the shoulder blades, and your throat, chest, belly, limbs, hands, fingers, and feet and toes. And bring the mind to the breath. And just notice the sensation of the air as you're breathing in and out. And the air you're inhaling is slightly cooler than the air you're exhaling. If there are any sounds in your environment, in your house or outside, here the world is just starting to wake up as the sun is thinking about rising, started to rise. So just notice what attracts your mind, what catches your attention. And allow those sounds to be there. And perhaps if the sounds are too distracting, you can just allow them to just concentrate on them just dissolving, fading into the background. And then just notice your thoughts. Perhaps you have a project on today. Do you have people you need to meet? Things you have to do? And your schedule may be in your mind. So just for the moment, just let all that go. Bringing the mind back to the breath. Try not to engage. Just allow the thoughts to arise, to abide, and to dissolve. So let's just bring to mind all the people of your life. We'll start with our friends, your family, loved ones, children, relatives, your work colleagues. Some of you love, some don't. These are your supporters. And then bring to mind all the people that you tend to reject. Maybe they've harmed you, maybe they irritate you, maybe you irritate them. But we do push them away. We don't include them in our life. And then there's those strangers. This is the person who's in the car next to you, waiting at the traffic light. They enter and leave our life very briefly. We don't give them much concern. But I'm wondering if any of these people in your life have changed place in the past year. Perhaps the person who's very dear to your heart right now, maybe they were once that person in the car next to you at the traffic light that you never considered. So they can change places. It's good to remember while we consider why we should think of these people as equal in our mind. And it's not easy. You don't have to invite the stranger or the person you don't like home, be part of your family. But you can think about exercising your mind in a way that they deserve your equal concern. Because each one of those groups of people wishes to be happy and does not wish to suffer. Each one of those people have this unbelievable capacity for enlightenment. Although we tend to feel that our beloveds, the ones we love, they're the ones that are most likely. We can see all their amazing qualities. And with the ones we don't like, we tend to see the qualities that aren't quite so positive. But they're all the same, just like you, with this potential. So I think we'll do this meditation this morning for the benefit of all these people of our life, and by extension, all sentient beings. And given most of you are in New Mexico, we can think of all the people involved in the fires. And just motivate for them, for people in Ukraine. Many strangers there for us to think about. So let's just move into our 9-round breathing meditation. So just to begin, breathing in through the right nostril, blissful, radiant white light, pausing at the top of the breath. And when you're breathing in, we try not to hyperventilate here, just very slow, steady breath. And then as you exhale through the left nostril, all your attachment energy. This is a grasping, neediness, not feeling like you're enough, wanting to be more, just dissatisfaction. You breathe that out as thick black yucky smoke as it disappears into space. And you do that 3 times. Then breathe in through the left nostril, blissful, radiant white light. Just pause slightly at the top of the breath. And then breathe out through the right, all your anger energy. And this is just hatred and grudges and bitterness and jealousy. Rinpoche calls it jealousness. Wishing to harm, disappointments, irritation. So it's everything on the spectrum between full out rage and slight irritation. And you breathe that out as thick black yucky smoke, and that disappears into space. And then you breathe in through both nostrils, blissful, radiant white light, and you pause at the top of the breath, and then breathe out all your ignorance. This is not knowing the way things truly exist, not understanding karma, cause and effect. And you breathe that out as thick black yucky smoke. Do that 3 times. So let's just do 3 sets of 3 in our own time. So when you're finished, just bring your mind back to the breath and just feel. Perhaps all those thoughts have settled now. And just notice if there's a difference between when you started and now. To bring the mind back to the breath. Breathing in and breathing out. So Lama Yeshe says, we are all equal in both wanting happiness and wanting to be free of suffering. The logical reason for feeling that all sentient beings are equal is that equally all sentient beings seek happiness, and not one, ourselves included, wants to be unhappy. We should think all sentient beings want to be happy, and no sentient being, myself included, wants to suffer. Whenever I experience an unpleasant feeling, I want it to stop immediately. Although basically all sentient beings equally desire happiness and freedom from suffering, out of the countless beings, billions of beings, my fickle mind selects just one to make happy and forgets the others. When I encounter someone who agitates me, I see them as an enemy and want to give them harm. And when an enemy finds good fortune, I get jealous. Such a mind is unrealistic, unbalanced, and extreme. So just think over that paragraph. You can think of examples in your own life. Perhaps there is someone in your life who you would prefer to help over others. And of course, that seems totally normal. And perhaps you recall a time where something really wonderful happened to a person that you really love and you were really happy for them, but maybe not so much for the person you didn't like. It's as if two equally hungry and thirsty people come to our door. We look at them both, but choose only one. You can come in, and tell the other, you can't come in, go away. We know that they're in exactly the same predicament, that they're both extremely hungry and thirsty, but our extreme narrow mind picks one. Come in, I love you. Put on some nice clean clothes, have something to eat and drink, and completely rejects the other. So when I was doing this earlier, I was thinking of a dear friend coming to my door, and if I saw they were in such a predicament, I wouldn't hesitate. Why didn't you call me sooner? Come on, come and have a shower. Let me make you something to eat. But if a dirty, kind of smelly street person turned up in exactly the same predicament, I wouldn't be inviting them in quite so readily. I'd probably be a bit afraid if I was to be completely honest. And it may not be sensible to do that. But we see how our mind works. And what we think is reasonable, Lama Yeshe's saying, the teachings are saying, it's not. This is the action of a narrow, silly, extreme mind. It all comes from the misconception of attachment, an unbalanced mind acting in an unrealistic manner that certainly has nothing to do with Buddhism or any other religion. Even if we check from the scientific materialistic point of view, it's unrealistic. Even ordinary non-religious people would easily see that this kind of mind is ridiculous. So I'll now read the summary, little summary sentences for each one of those paragraphs, and we can meditate on each one for about a minute. The first paragraph was, the summary of the first paragraph is, a mind that discriminates between self and others is unrealistic, unbalanced, and extreme. It is as illogical as helping one hungry, thirsty person and rejecting another. Even ordinary non-religious people can easily see this kind of mind is ridiculous. And so as you go about your day today, just try and remember little bits and pieces from this day in the Lamrim year. See what pops into your mind and maybe notice the ways in which you are discriminating. I know myself, I'm always so happy to give things to people who I love. Helping people I love. But are we doing it with the same enthusiasm for the people that we don't? Anyway, just some thoughts for us, however it's landed. So let's just dedicate all the positive energy, all the merit we've created this morning to all the people of our life, all those people involved in the fires. So lovely to see you here, Karen. Thank you for coming. All the people in Ukraine. It's getting messier and messier by the moment. And Russia and Poland. Okay, everybody. Do take care. Lots of love. So nice to see you again, Matt, as well. And have a lovely day, and I'll see some of you tonight. Okay.